Aloha Sages, it's Kim Jolene with Finding Your Fiji, and I'm here doing your monthly reading for April 2019. So today we're shaking things up a little bit. I'm going to be doing something a little bit new and an old favorite as well. So we're going to start with your theme for this month. This is going to give you sort of that overriding energy for the month, give you kind of like a broad view of what this month has in store for you. And then we'll get more details in the extra cards that I draw. That will give you just a little bit more about the details of the month and what's going to be happening. And then I am going to do my answers. So those of you that have been watching me for a while have experienced this. And it's super fun and crazily accurate. So that's always kind of the interesting thing, because here's how it works. What you'll do is you're actually going to write down 3 of your personal questions. So you'll write down 3 questions, and then I will draw cards and be answering them. So it's best if the questions are short and concise. So you don't want to be like some long diatribe, some complicated thing. It needs to be a pretty simple question. And I like to phrase questions often in the state of, is it in my highest and best interest to do X now? Right? So I like to put the time on there. Is it in my highest and best interest? You know, that type of thing. So that's just one example. So you can either pause the video now and write down your questions, or I'll give you another opportunity just before I get to the answers to be able to pause the video again. I think it's important to write the questions down. The reason being, the writing of it also is very active and energetically lets the universe know that you are open to receiving answers to this. And it also makes it really clear what you asked. When I answer it, you'll be able to look at what you asked and be like, oh yeah, that's how that relates to that, right? Okay, so we're going to be doing that. 3 questions. Write those down. Pause the video now if you want, or wait and do it just before I start that. And then this is something I've never done before. I am doing an activation, a sacred geometry activation for each one of the zodiac signs this month. I've not ever done that in a group reading like this before. I've definitely done it with individuals, for sure. It's an interesting thing, and sometimes people get multiple activations when they do a private reading with me. Sometimes it's just one, and other times I'm not called to do any activations. But so what I'm doing this month is I have pulled, like, because I didn't choose it. I guess I chose the card, but not looking at them, obviously. And then this activation is for you for this month, and I'll share a little bit more about that at the very end of the reading. Okay, let's rock and roll, shall we? All right, your theme for this month is the Page of Water. Water cards are all about the depth of emotion, right? So the emotions, inner work, that type of thing. This particular card is kind of fun because it's about a new person entering your life, or a deepening of a relationship that's already in existence. So water cards can often be about romantic relationships, and this particular card is about that. The other thing that this card brings in is this essence of your intuition is getting stronger. So this month in particular, you're going to notice some things that are happening where you're like, oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen, or I had an intuitive thought about that, or you're getting information and guidance and you're like, where is this coming from? It's that heightened psychic ability, right? So beautiful. I love that. Super cool. All right, let's see what else is coming in as far as some details for you about this month and what the month has in store for you. All right, so we've got a couple air cards and a fire card. The 5 of air is kind of a kicking yourself card. So 5 of air is like you've made a decision and it didn't turn out well, and now you're like kicking yourself. So don't do that, right? Don't do that. Instead, just learn what you can from the situation and look at what were people's motives, because people always have a reason for doing things, right? And what were the motives behind what was happening, right? So learn from it. It's also really a time of understanding that there is an ebb and flow in life. So what they're showing me is sort of this ebb and flow. And sometimes you're in the flow with someone, with people or things or circumstances, and sometimes you're not. And so potentially maybe you made a choice or a decision when you were out of flow and it just didn't work out well. So that's kind of what they're showing me with that. And there's no, no harm nor foul, because everything happens for you. It's just for you now to learn what you can from the situation and just move on, right? Just move on. So we also have the 4 of air coming in for you. The 4 of air is, again, we're in our heads, the intellect, so you're in your head a little bit this month. And this is letting you know that you need a vacation or you need some time for rest. Like there's just been maybe too much going on for you. And it's related to decisions. So here maybe you made a too quick a decision. Related to decisions this month, you do want to slow down. You do want to take your time with those decisions. So don't be jumping in. Meditation is going to help you with the decision. So get quiet so you can hear the answers, so you can get that psychic information, right? That's available to you always, but you have to get quiet in order to be able to hear it. And then lastly, for these cards, I have the 9 of fire. So fire is about passion, about action. 9 of fire is like you're so close to getting there. 9 is like reaching new heights. It's the last number before they repeat again. And so don't give up, right? Maintain your courage, maintain your stamina, keep moving forward. That's the energy of this 9 of fire. Defend your beliefs. That may also come up this month where you need to defend your beliefs or your actions. That's potentially something that will be there for you as well. Okay, ready for the questions? If you haven't written your questions down yet, please pause the recording and do that. You could ask a question for someone else. I'm getting that somebody wanted to ask a question for someone else. You can do that. Sure. Yep, that's fine. That works. Just be clear that this, if you're asking, like, for instance, is it in the highest and best interest? Is it in Sue's highest and best interest to do X, right? Would be kind of the way to do it. Make sure that you have their name in there so that the correct answer comes through for them. Or the most helpful, I guess. I don't know about correct, but most helpful. Okay. Question number 1. The answer to question number 1 is opportunity. So this can be interpreted in a couple different ways. One way is that this is a great opportunity. You see her throwing up the coins there. That can be an indication. I always think opportunity is positive. Like I feel like that's a yes. And opportunity, I feel like, also just brings in fresh energy for you. So this is an opportunity to shift things, to change things. It's an opportunity for things to come to you. There's lots of different ways that can pour in. I would love for you to share your questions in the comments below, and also the answer that came through. So, because it's just so interesting to me to see the variety of questions and also to see how the answers apply to everyone, right? Question number 2. The answer is look for a sign, okay? So there's going to be a sign that's going to tell you the answer to your question, and that's going to happen within the next few weeks. So really watch for that sign. And sometimes people like to ask their guides for a specific sign, like send me a bluebird or something like that. You can totally do that. I love to just let my team pick the sign for me and send it to me, right? Because they're super creative, and I love the sign. Like the sign that they sent me to move to Maui was amazing. Like I couldn't have made that up if I tried, and it was so concrete. Right? So yeah, so ask them to send you the sign, and that will appear within the next few weeks. Question number 3. The answer to question number 3 is there is something better. Okay? So you could do this thing, but there's actually something that's better for you. Okay? And it does require you taking action. So this isn't about sitting on your hands. You actually do have to take action to get to the something better. So that's an interesting thing. That came up in one of the other readings too. They got to know there's something better and then the take action. So when I see there's something better, it's like, don't just stand staring at the wall or the door that just closed in front of you. Actually take some action. Find the redirection. Ask, where, this door just closed. Where are you redirecting me to, right? So ask for that help. All right, we have our activation. Your sacred geometry activation for the month of April is integration, the number 30 card. Isn't that beautiful? I love the pictures on these cards are just so vibrant and pretty. And this integration is essentially, when you look at the picture too, it just is like everything coming together, right? So you're integrating the external, you're integrating the internal, you're integrating your emotions, your mind, right? Your thoughts, your body, all of these different things are integrating. And so this activation is going to help you do that with more ease. Sometimes we get downloads and it's rough. It can be bumpy, right? But this integration is going to help you integrate the things that you've been receiving, the psychic insights that you've been receiving. This is going to help you integrate them into your life so it is smoother for you, not such a bumpy ride, right? So good. Speaking of travel, how would you like to join me in Maui? I'm hosting a retreat in November of 2019, and I would love for you to join me. If you have questions or would like to just chat a little bit more about the retreat and figure out whether that is a good fit for you, go ahead and schedule a virtual coffee chat. I've got a link below. It's a free chat. It's about 20 minutes. And if you are interested in the retreat, I will pull one card for you answering whether it's in your highest or best interest to attend. So I'll help you with the decision-making process. I'm not going to interpret the card, but I will pull the card for you, take a picture of it, and send it to you so that you can make a decision potentially with more ease, right, and grace. I also have information below about the retreat. There's lots of information, pictures, all of that kind of stuff online. I'm continuing to add things. So I'm continuing to add pictures and information and all of that kind of stuff as we go along here. I've also interviewed a couple of the practitioners, so I'm going to be starting to post those interviews. Just so much fun. Oh my gosh. It's really, I'm having a lot of fun with just connecting with the practitioners because they're so amazing. Like all of these people are just amazing. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to share Maui with you. And if you're new to my channel and enjoyed this reading, please hit the subscribe button. Also make sure to click the bell. The bell allows you to be notified when I post new videos. Otherwise, you may never see me again. If you don't get the notifications, then you'll be like, oh, I don't even remember who that person was, right? But if you get the notifications, then when I post a new video, which I do these every month, for all of the zodiac signs, and I also do a weekly, once a week on Fridays, Feng Shui Friday tip. Usually those are pretty short, 5-10 minutes, usually no more than 10 minutes. So those are pretty short videos too, and just gives you some information about helping balance the energy in your space and creating more harmony. So I would love to see you again here next month. Comment below about what you enjoyed about this video, your questions that you asked, and how the answers pertain to you, and anything else that you want to share. So much love and aloha.